I'm Stephanie and I'm taking my Instructor Development Course at Islamorada Pro Center. So from the first time that I got to work with everyone, we were on Zoom because I was in Georgia and we did our e-learning online. And I had 2 other staff members join me on the Zoom and text me right after. And before I'd even met them in person, they texted me and were like, hey, I'm Nate and Sophia. If you have any questions, let us know. We're here for you. Before I'd even met them, which was so nice. And so right when I got here, actually in person, I walked into the store and I felt like I was already part of their little group, which was fun. And they've already tried to get me to come work for them, so we'll see what happens there. But they're really, really welcoming, which is nice when you come pretty much by yourself for a course, which I did. And I turned out to have a classmate, which was really nice. But working with them has been really awesome in all those different ways. This summer, I'm working for a company in the Caribbean that I've been hired to go as an instructor, and they actually hired me without me having my instructor certification, so I had to get it in a really specific timeline. And this is the only shop that I could find in all of Florida who I told them my situation and when I needed to have my certification done, and they made a schedule for me so that I was able to get it done in time for my job, which is the only reason I was able to be hired, which made a really, really big difference for me. So our schedule has been really nice. We started with a lot of theory, so some classroom learning, and then went through presentations that we need to know how to do. And then when we finally got in the pool, it was so easy. They told us where to go, gave us the tanks. Some of my gear was really old and like rusted, and they serviced my regulator for me, which they said was really disgusting because it's been like years. So they serviced that for me like free of charge, which was so nice. They wouldn't even let me pay for it. And let me borrow their gear in the meantime. So in the pool, we went through all of the different skills that you have to perform for the instructor exam. And then we practice our presentations, and when you mess up, they make it clear, but in a really fun way. They totally mess around. They're like, so if I did this, do you think that would be okay in the exam? And you're like, oh no, and you definitely learn based off of the fun environment. So you don't feel bad if you mess up, but all the mess ups that I made, I remember really, really clearly because they made a good connection to real life and when you have to do it when you're actually in the water with students. And then we finally got to the open water sessions, which was so fun. We got to go out with people who were actually diving with the center. So we had people who were going on real dives while we were doing our practice dives and our open water skills. So we had a really good environment on the boat, which was fun, and we got to have fun boat rides out there and then get to work when we were in the open water. But they've done a great job of balancing the fun, the time, and the stuff you have to actually learn while you're down here because it's easy to get distracted. So they've made it very clear from the beginning that the point of the instructor exam is not to pass. The point is that I should feel so confident that the instructor exam stands for i.e. it's easy, which I'm a little hesitant to say before I take it. But yeah, I feel like the exam is going to be exactly what they've prepared me for, and then exam aside, I know a lot of things that I didn't know were important before I came here to be an instructor. I know a lot more about safety, I know expectations, I know how to communicate with students, encourage them, tell them things they did well, things we need to work on. All that stuff when you're actually working with real people instead of a simulated classroom. I feel like they've done a great job of letting you know what real life as an instructor is actually like, which is important as you go to work in the industry. The way I came across y'all's center was really random, to be honest. I was just researching different places in Florida. I started in Fort Lauderdale and then didn't really find any there. I called maybe 10, 15 dive shops and told them the problem that I had and the timing that I needed to get my IDC completed in. And literally out of all of them, this was the only place where I told them, and they're like, oh yeah, no problem, we'll make a class for you, instead of being like, well, our class dates are this to this, and if you can't fit in them, we can't have you complete our IDC. This was the only place where they didn't have a set date. They just listened to me when I needed to come, and they made it for me, which is so nice. If you guys are interested in anything in the realm of being a pro diver, like dive master, instructor, whatever it may be, I cannot recommend this place enough. They made everything so easy on me. Any gear, rental, serious experience. The community here is so easy to get along with, and I feel after, gosh, I think it's only been 1 week, I feel seriously prepared to go actually be a real instructor after I pass my IE, which will happen this weekend. If you're at all interested in becoming an instructor, dive master, anything pro diving related, Islamorada Pro Center is where you should go.